matchup is much more even on paper than maybe some people would think.
I mean, I think when you ask like everyone's gunning for Spirit, that's like a big picture.
That's always happened, I guess.
Yeah, well, if you put the lens on it too, it's like the other conversation we always have is how it's so hard to beat the same team twice in a tournament. And I don't know, it's an interesting conversation because, yeah, you just beat the team on the same exact maps in the series in the group stage. Going to be very difficult coming back into it. If you win the series, you typically don't look into things nearly in as much detail and depth as you do if you lose the series. But you hear from Na'Vi players, they know how hard it is to beat Spirit. We know how much it means to them to beat Spirit with this rivalry being so one-sided. So I don't think they missed any details. I think Na'Vi looked through these demos in just the same intensity as if they had lost that series. And I think we come in and, yeah, this for me is 50-50. Flip a coin, I don't know who's going to win.
It is a 50-50 game. It's impossible to tell beforehand who's going to win it, but I think there's a lot of win condition that we already covered already. Obviously, one being Dong. I want to see more of Shiro as well. We saw Shiro play well yesterday on a cheap notice. Not a lot of flashes, not a lot of smokes to be occupied by. I think if you're Na'Vi, you're going to make sure that Shiro is kept out of the game for as long as possible, if possible, and that's what I want to see him step up. You know, it's also a bit of an underrated fact that Na'Vi have more states experience than Spirit. That's just a fact of the matter. Na'Vi were in all these grand finals, in all these playoffs, where Spirit in the mid portion of 24 had a conversation surrounding them. Maybe a player's getting kicked. Maybe it's not really working out in Spirit. So in terms of raw, I guess, experience inside an arena like this, Na'Vi's ahead of them.
I'm really curious. I think the Oppers are going to be an interesting thing for me to watch because I feel like against both these teams that are so detailed, so good with utility, so good tactically, I think Oppers sometimes struggle to find the moments they can have impact the way they used to be able to in Counter-Strike because everything's on point. Everyone's kind of shifting slowly. You don't really get a great indication. So for Shiro and for Wonderful on both sides of the map, it's going to be like you might only have a couple opportunities to truly leave a mark on the map. And when those opportunities present themselves, which Opper is just going to seize that moment and deal with it and handle business? Or are you going to miss that opportunity and have to sit around and wait for another chance to change the nature of this map? I think those guys are going to have to be on point